Cool. I love that. Nice. Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Dan, aka Lucen. I'm a singer-songwriter, music producer kind of guy. And today I'm going to be reacting to HOZIER'S songs, but these are all your suggestions, all the stuff that wasn't on the albums, but I need to listen to. So let's go. Okay, hello. So, I've reacted to all of HOZIER'S albums. I basically discovered him with Unreal Unearthed and absolutely fell in love. But apparently there were like a bunch of other songs that were in deluxe versions, like standalone singles, bonus tracks and stuff that a lot of you think are like some of his best songs. And so I was like, I have to actually react to those too. And so I put a post out on YouTube on the community thing, and I went through all of your recommendations and picked actually 9 songs that I'm going to react to today. What have we got? We've got Swan upon Leda, Moment, Silence, NWFMB, Through Me, Arsonist, Lullaby, Blood Upon the Snow, In the Woods Somewhere, Run, and I chose to do the Cosmic Love cover because I love Florence and the Machine. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and if you want to watch this reaction without any edits, any cuts or anything in any of the songs, then make sure to head over to my Patreon, where on the second tier you can watch all of my videos uncut and unedited. There's a bunch of other benefits on there, so make sure to check out and see if that's worth you subscribing over there. But yeah, links in the description for that. Make sure to let me know in the comments what your favourite of these songs are. I will be telling you what my favourite is at the end of the video. I know usually we do a top 5, but it's a bit weird when it's not a single album. So yeah, just let me know what your favourite is in the comments. Right, let's go. So the first song we're going to do is Swan upon Leda. I'm going to guess that's like a lake. I like the pace of it. It's like playful children pushing each other around. I love the kind of almost like dreamlike nature of the production. Never belonged to me. It's so interesting to hear a song that's like got so much going on for HOZIER. There's like a lot of his songs, production-wise, retain a bit more simplicity, but this one that has like so much going on in the background. I love the sweeping of the strings and the pads and stuff in the background. It really kind of gives it this kind of like sway. It's gorgeous. Oh, nice. Right back down into simplicity. There's like a sense of like the kind of fictional kind of folktale kind of energy to that song. Really beautiful, but quite different to any of the songs. Like I wouldn't know what era this was. Like maybe after album 2, because there's like more like fully formed production, but that's probably the only thing I could kind of pinpoint. I really liked it. Yeah, I loved how the production was built up and kind of gave it this kind of sway, like this big kind of lush feeling that also kind of drifted, you know. A husband waits outside. A crying child pushes a child into the night. She was told he would come this time, without leaving so much as a feather behind, to enact at last the perfect plan. One more sweet boy to be butchered by men. Oh my God. The gateway to the world was still outside of reach of him. Would never belong to angels, had never belonged to men. The swan upon the Leda, empire upon Jerusalem. It seems like maybe an old folk tale that he's like retelling. Like it's giving me a sense of that, you know, like the kind of tales you would tell a child, you know. One of the children has been like abducted by this like character. And it almost seems like it could be a metaphor for like puberty, like the movement of a child growing up, you know, kind of innocence is lost, you know, of a boy turning into a man. It's like, you know, like his sweetness and innocence as a boy like being butchered in the way that he has to kind of grow up and fit into society. That's kind of what it's giving me, like in terms of like the moral of the story type thing, you know. A graceful turner of heads weaves through the checkpoints like a needle in thread, the gateway to the world, a gun in a trembling hand, When nature unmakes the boundary, the pillar of myth still stands. Would never belong to angels, had never belonged to man. It certainly like has a mythical quality to it. Interesting. They have to let me know what that song was written for. Cool. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is Moment's Silence. Okay, this looks like it's from the second album era. So let's go. Cool. Very dry. Leaning into the kind of rock and roll aspects of the second album. Nice. I like the kind of swung nature of it. It almost seems like a kind of jailhouse rock and roll thing, you know? I love that melody there. Cool. Cool. Nice. I love how that kind of slowed down. Made us really wonder where it's gonna go. Oh, this is the one that's in brackets common tongue, right? So maybe this is about like his heritage and the language and the way that we have butchered tongue later on. I love the rhythm in this. Like you could dance to it, couldn't you? Which can't be said for most Hozier songs, if I'm honest. I love that. So good. I might suggest this song to my friend who does swing dance. I might be like, hey, do you want a cool song to dance to? This is totally that vibe. Stylistically, it does fit really well into like the Wasteland Baby vibe, doesn't it? Like the kind of dirty rock guitars, the kind of like in the room hand claps and stuff. Oh, hello. I thought that was the end. Oh, this is the Nina Cry Power EP, so presumably this was like maybe put out ahead of the full album. Yes, that's the end. Cool, really fun. Kind of feels like it fits totally into the Hozier vibe, especially from that era, but also it's very different. Like I don't think he's done many songs that kind of have like a swung, upbeat kind of feel to them, something that really could be danced to, you know, in that style. Really enjoyable, yeah. Let's look at the lyrics, because I didn't necessarily pick up most of the lyrics. Honestly, a lot of the times on the first listens of most of his songs, I don't understand any of the lyrics. When stunted hand earns place with the man by mere monstrosity, alarms are struck and shore is shook by sheer atrocity. A cure I know that soothes the soul does so impossibly. A moment's silence when my baby puts the mouth on. Me and my babe relax and catch the manic rhapsody. A squall and all of me is a prayer in a perfect piety. When the meaning is gone, there is clarity, and the reason comes on the common tongue of your loving me. Oh, so like common tongue language, but also common tongue like a kiss, you know? For me, it feels as if he's like looking at like the destruction that is wrought upon the world, atrocities. A stunted hand earns its place with man by mere monstrosity. Like it's making me think, obviously, like I'm connecting it to like butchered tongue, and so he could be referencing the kind of like atrocious history of Ireland's past, and then kind of almost like in the verses getting a little bit like pulled down by that, you know, the reason flown as God looks down on in abject apathy, like he doesn't give a shit, and feeling like that's kind of like weighing you down. But there's a freedom in like kissing and having sex with his partner. There's nothing else in the room that we're not overthinking or, you know, why we belong on this planet. We are just existing and being in a very natural state, you know. It's easily done and it's a remedy, you know. And I love the idea of that common tongue, the common language that we speak being kissing, basically. And the way that like a literal tongue is involved in kissing, but is also refers to language. It's so clever. I love that. That is like such a great like double use of that phrase, you know. Like a heathen clung to the homely, let the reason come on the common tongue of your loving me. I love like the way he talks about sex in a way that it's just so part of our anatomy and our biology. It's like a freedom in talking about sex because it is the most kind of base kind of part of our evolution as a species. Do you know what I mean? And why shouldn't we talk about it in a normal way? The only reason there is taboo is because of the church, you know? Because like so many songs about sex are always like, it's always got to be seedy or it's always got to be like power exchange. But he just talks about it in a way that's just like baseline, natural, you know? I think I need to stop shampooing my hair just before I film videos because it gets so fluffy. Kind of want to grow my hair again now. I literally had it down to here at one point. Okay, next song. This is Through Me. I think it's called The Flood, in brackets, the Flood. Let's go. Okay, it's giving me gospel. There's a bit of an organ in there, but the voice is very kind of affected, isn't it?
Picture a man, seen like a speck out from the shore, like he's done his life before. Even of a squall will drag him out.
He loves the word squall, doesn't he?
He swims on, does the rising of a wave, and knows that one will not wait.
I love the melody. I love how clear his voice is as well. Nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, chords. Oh, there's a really funky synth going on under here. Oh, yeah. It flows through me. Cool. I love that. There's so much cool stuff going on. There's like a bassy synth that seems to be like almost like crawling underneath the mix. It's really weird and fun.
Picture 6 feet freshly dug.
Picture 6 feet freshly dug. He's talking about death again.
The unemployment of the mouth.
Oh, the unemployment of the mouth. How the mouth must be employed. Ugh. Think of loss and all I can. Oh my god, there's so many good lines. Oh yeah. I do much prefer this style of Hozier, the slightly cleaner production, as opposed to the kind of dirtier rock and roll stuff. It's definitely more like in my kind of wheelhouse in terms of production style, you know. The world, it flows through me. Cool. Loved that. That's my favourite so far. I really loved that. The energy in it, like it felt like the drums were so like kind of up and peppy and like really crisp and tight. Some interesting production stuff. I expected that synth that was kind of simmering at the beginning to kind of come up later on and reveal itself a bit more, but it didn't. It was just kind of there. It's just like a quirk, which was really interesting. I just love when his voice is like has more clarity to it. I do feel like some of the earlier, like production wise, some of his earlier songs kind of, it almost seems like he's mumbling, and I then have to look up all the lyrics like I was saying on the previous one. But with that one, I was picking out so many moments like in the moment because of the way it's recorded and performed and everything. And I prefer that because it gets me really into the story of the song, even on first listen, you know. And I think that like in terms of mixing and the layering of like all the instruments and stuff, it sounds super clean and super tight. And I love that. Picture a man seen like a speck out from this shore, swimming out beyond the breakers, like he's done his life before. He feels the coming of the squall will drag him out a greater length, but knows his strength and tries to gather it, and he swims on. So there's a guy who's like out swimming in the lake, sea, whatever, and there's a storm coming, but he has like an inner strength to just keep going, even though like most people will probably turn back. So it says now, turning back to shore again, above the outer atmosphere of a world he's never seen, and looking down to his new home, he feels the rising of a wave and knows at once he will not weather it. So maybe it's a man swimming out knowing that he's going to die, and he's like looking at the earth from above, like he's like, I'm going to die and move to heaven, and I'm letting it happen, you know? Like that man, I looked down into the depths when I met you. I couldn't measure it. Any time I'd struggled on against the course out of my own, every time I burned through the world, I'd see that the world, it burns through me. But when I'd let go, my struggling form, my willing soul, every time I flow through the world, I'd see that the world, it flows through me. So there's a sense of like, when you're trying to push against the current, when you're trying to control maybe how your life goes, trying to control everything around you, the world can burn through you. Like you feel like let down by the world because the world hasn't lived up to your expectations. It's kind of in a similar frame of mind to the previous song where he's kind of learning to let go of expectations, learning to let go of control and just enjoy life as it is, because actually he's saying, when I'd let go, my struggling form, my willing soul, I just let it all go. Every time I flow through the world, I'd see that the world flows through me. It's almost like when you relax and just go with the flow, you can just see all the world it has to offer and all the beauty the world has to offer as it just flows right through you. That's the vibe I'm getting. Picture a grave, picture 6 feet freshly dug, the sharp temporary walls and the long-term cliff edge of the world. So fucking evocative. I just adore his lyricism. Yeah, there's like a real kind of like sense of like, I guess like almost like a yin and yang, like a karma, like a cyclical kind of thing. Like if you burn the world will burn you back. But if you just flow with the world, it will just flow right back, right through you. You know, really, really beautiful. What I love about his songs though is that like upon first listen, I kind of get an idea. And then the more I listen, the more I seem to understand the message. And the meaning develops for me as I listen. And the more I hear of all of his stuff, the more I can kind of understand his perspective and then understand it on a deeper level. Like, it's been so, so great discovering Hosier. Okay, next song. This is Arsonist's Lullaby. This looks like it's a bonus track from the first album, so that's the vibe. Got a gothic church feel. I love how he seems to kind of refer to that kind of churchy kind of gothic feel throughout his career, but every time it feels like the context is different, you know? Ooh.
When I was a child,
It's definitely got first album energy.
you soon find you have few choices. When I was a child, I'd sit for hours staring into open flames.
So he's talking about like who he was as a child and the kind of things that occupied his brain when he was young, you know?
All you have is your fire.
All you have is your fire.
Tame your demon, but always keep 'em on a leash.
I'm kind of waiting for this song to go somewhere else at the moment.
I was 16.
Ooh, I like the piano. Oh, okay, so now he's going through his stages growing up.
I knew the scent was mine alone. All you have.
I guess he's talking about how your fire and the place you need to reach. It's like what's going to drive you to the place that you want to go, you know?
Always keep 'em on a leash. I was a man, I thought it ended.
Right, okay.
I knew love's perfect day.
So he's talking about maybe the passions of love and lust and ambition, I think, throughout the different stages of his life.
All you have is your fire. Tame your demon.
Don't ever chain your demon, but always keep them on a leash. Cool. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the story of that song. I just felt like, as with some of his earlier stuff, I feel like the song structure and the production and stuff kind of didn't inspire me that much. I feel like sonically it sounds pretty similar to most of the stuff on the first album, if that makes sense. And like melodically and musically felt like fairly standard. But I think that like what is special about that really is the lyrical structure and the story of it. So when I was a child, I heard voices, some would sing and some would scream. When I was a child, I'd sit for hours staring into open flame. Something in it had a power I could barely tear my eyes away. All you have is your fire and the place you need to reach. Don't ever tame your demon, but always keep them on a leash. There's a fire within you. There's like something that inspires you. Like as a child, he's looking into the fire and there was a power in that. And he felt the same thing within him. And he says like, you shouldn't ever tame your demon. You shouldn't ever like make that demon, the fire within you, like diminish, but you should always have it on a leash. And for me, having a demon on a leash is almost like you're allowing your demon to pull you along, but you kind of have an element of control still. That's the imagery I'm getting from it. And so there is a real sense of like allowing your passions to push you forward and inspire you, but maybe not letting them go completely, like unchecked, because you might go off the rails, you know. When I was 16, my senses fooled me. Thought gasoline was on my clothes. I knew that something would always rule me. I knew the scent was mine alone. I love like the smelling of the gasoline. Like it's almost like as a teenager, he was like setting fire to something. He was the arsonist at that point, but actually, it's actually not gasoline. It's himself, and maybe the scent, the BO, teenage lust, teenage sex, teenage, you know, that kind of fire. When I was a man, I thought it ended when I knew love's perfect ache, but my peace has always depended on the ashes in my way. I love the 3 stages: child, teenager, man. And at the point at which he's a man, he falls in love for the first time and thinks this is the be all end all. But again, he's still continuing forward. And I think that's kind of the moral of the story, is that life continues going and you have to kind of go with it, you know, but never let your passions and your desires control you. That's what I'm getting. Very cool. Love the story of that. Next song. This is Blood Upon the Snow, which is the God of War one, right? By Hosier and Bear McCreary. Let's go.
Closed in her silence, offers of violence.
It's giving me like Viking-y folk song vibes with that drone. I'm gonna guess Bear is the composer of the strings. Beautiful. Whoa, love the dynamics in this. It's really beautiful. Love these verses that just have this droning. It kind of is giving me a bit of, I guess, Viking energy in the way that it's slightly kind of Norse, but also seems related to kind of Celtic history.
I've walked the earth, how cold the wind can blow.
Wow, yeah. The strings are stunning, aren't they? Ugh. It's so cool to hear Hozier within this kind of context because it's very different to his music, you know. But he's the perfect choice in vocalist and writer to add so much depth to the kind of world of God of War, you know. Is that a bagpipe? Or it sounds like a kind of war pipe, you know, that kind of thing.
Takes more strength than it gave me.
This world takes more strength than it gave me. A real disillusion with the world, you know. Oh! Wow. He's been saving it. Drama. Love it. Really cool to oh, still good. Oh, that's great. I love that. Really cool to hear Hozier doing something truly like cinematic. Really, really cool. And I just love the kind of danger in that song, you know, like it's like a warning sign. He's like singing over that drone. It's like terrifying. It's like you're in a movie and like the heroes reach like the point in the story where they meet like some magical person. That magical person is Hozier, and Hozier's going, you can go this way towards danger, or you can go this way towards safety. What will you choose? That's what I'm getting. It's got such a cinematic quality. It's really cool. And then like I love the huge amount of drama in it. The composition of the strings is absolutely fabulous. And I love that, like, as a collaboration and adding, like, Hozier into the world of God of War, it really adds, like, a level of, like, poetry, lyricism, and a depth that Hozier brings to the kind of world of God of War. I've never played it, but I've read a lot about God of War and like how like the relationship between the father and the son is like a big deal, but it's also kind of gods and monsters vibes. So it has like that kind of huge cinematic quality of like something really intimate within like huge kind of fantastical kind of drama, you know? And I kind of feel like, yeah, Hozier added so much to that kind of vibe. It's a really, really cool collaboration. To all things housed in her silence, nature offers a violence. So it's about like the violence of nature. The world that hardens as the harsher winter holds, the parent forced to eat its young before it grows. Very poignant lyric to have in a song that's related to God of War as well. The winter sunrise, red on white, like blood upon the snow. Oh, so it's like the natural world, the sun rising and the speckles of light across the landscape represent the blood upon the snow, like the vicious killing of maybe like a fox eating a rabbit or something, and the blood like so stark against the snow. That image of like the harshness of nature, which really does tie into the vibes of God of War, where it's like these two people kind of out for themselves, you know. Again, I haven't played it, but that's what I think it's about. I've walked the earth and there is so few here that know how dark the night and just how cold the wind can blow. So it's like somebody, the perspective of a character who has seen the darkness of the world and maybe almost envies the people who live in the kind of comfortable, blissful ignorance, you know. Really fab. So cool. Love it. Amazing. Okay, next song. I'm going to do the Cosmic Love cover because I have to hear it. Is it just a live thing?
A falling star landed in my eyes.
Fuck. Oh, this is gorgeous. And left me blind.
Stars, they have all been blown out.
Fucking hell. Oh my god. This is so beautiful. I mean, I love Florence, and Cosmic Love is one of my favourite songs.
I can hear your heartbeat.
I love the choice in chords too.
I was in the darkness.
Oh, fucking hell.
They have all been blown out.
He needs to release this. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It would be something like that if we were to cover Cosmic Love.
Oh my god. That is fucking gorgeous. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. I need an official version of that right away. I need it. I've got Florence in the back. Look, there she is. I just adore the way he sings and the way he squeezes out every element of his breath that he has left. Like you can see he's just like used a lot of his breath, but he just keeps pushing it right towards the end of the breath, and it just feels like so it's so gorgeous. I just love the way he sings. Even like just with a piano on a phone, and just it's beautiful, amazing. Oh, I love it. Oh, my hair again. My hair. Cool. Next song. This is Run. Okay. Interesting. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's very strange to have that strange offbeat with no other frame of reference. His voice sounds nice here. Again, early vibes, production.
Twisted by something, the shame without a sin. Where is this love?
Okay, here we go.
I need you to run to me.
Ooh, nice. Love that melody. It took a moment to get going this song, but I'm enjoying this vibe.
Because of every tear she'd ever weep, white ends to fall and beat her.
I feel like the verse is kind of a bit slow and a bit empty. But like when it gets going, I enjoy what's going on. Maybe it just takes a bit too long to get to that point, you know? I love that. I need you to run to me. Such a beautiful little melody there.
I need you to run to me.
Nice. Interesting. Yeah. Like there are some really good elements to that song, but I just felt like I kind of, for a lot of it, was waiting for it to get going, which is quite interesting for a song that's called Run. No, I feel like it was a little bit of a false start. Sorry. So the central, almost like chorus, I guess, section, really like that. Beautiful little melodies in there. Love how he was in his falsetto for a lot of it. Just felt like it needed editing, just so it felt like it had some pace and got to the point a bit quicker. Rare is this love, keep it covered. I need you to run to me, lover. Run until you feel your lungs bleeding. Whew. It's carried by the sneering menagerie. Know what it is to grow beneath her sky, her punishing cold. It's almost like maybe he's talking about like some goddess in this section. There's an insistence of like, you know, when you're in trouble, I need you to come to me. Like, do you feel your lungs bleeding? That's just like so visceral, isn't it? It's like, there's something about this that I'm not necessarily getting, I think. There might be some, like I've said in some of my other actions, there might be some story, some folk tale that I don't know, and therefore I don't necessarily understand what the song is about. But usually I say that and then everyone's like, what was it? There was one song where I was like, I don't know what it's about. And everyone was like, Dan, it's about sex. And I was like, oh, okay. Next song, this is In the Woods Somewhere. Again, first album era. Let's go. Dirty guitar again. Ooh, cool.
My head was warm till the fever broke. Let the darkness hum.
A night so black that the darkness hung. Ooh, it's so sinister. I love it.
Prayed my mind, be good to me in the woods somewhere.
Ooh, there's a real cinematic energy to this as well. Like, it's giving me like a horror vibe, you know, running through the woods. Ooh, love that. Beautiful chorus vocal there. Cool.
I quickly ran.
Cool.
Into no sound he made.
I love the weight and the drama in this. This one feels so cinematic. This could have been on a soundtrack as well, couldn't it? Like, maybe it was. Again, this is another one that feels like it's a bit overly long. It could benefit from a bit of editing, or maybe some like production thing that would take it to somewhere else. The atmosphere and the energy of it is amazing though.
Found something in the woods somewhere.
Yeah. Is it gonna resolve? No. Interesting. Cool. Love the sinister energy. Has so much atmosphere to it. And it feels like it has a real cinema kind of feel to it, especially when you think about like some of the imagery that he was like creating with the lyrics and stuff, like getting lost in the woods and the like hearing a scream in the woods and going out to save them and stuff. Like I felt like I just needed like something more development in the melody or the production. It felt like it like had a really strong idea and then didn't necessarily go anywhere else. You know, I feel like it needed to travel. My head was warm, my skin was soaked. I called your name till the fever broke. When I awoke, the moon still hung, the night so black that the darkness hummed. Oof, fucking amazing imagery. It's almost like this setup to a movie where like a man awakes in the woods and he's like clearly sick or has been sick and is like now alone in the darkness. Like really gives me that such visceral kind of cinematicness. An awful noise filled the air. I heard a scream in the woods somewhere. Oh, okay. So it's like maybe he's gone into the woods with maybe he's the baker and his wife. They've gone into the woods together. If you don't get the reference, then this makes no sense to you. His bone exposed, his hind was lame. I raised a stone to end his pain. What caused the wound? How large the teeth? I saw new eyes were watching me. Oh my God. The creature lunged. I turned and ran to save a life I didn't have. How many years I know I'll bear. I found something in the woods somewhere. That's amazing. The storytelling in this is so cool. I love how it's like almost like just a straight narrative of somebody awaking in the woods and like finding a wounded animal and then getting chased by the animal that wounded. There also seems to be a bit of metaphor for like maybe like a partner dying, feeling as if like maybe in the kind of moment he might feel as if he wanted to join her, but then as soon as that creature, which for me is like a metaphor maybe for the Grim Reaper or something, actually came for him, he ran and clung onto his life. That's kind of what the final bit's giving me. You know, it's like, I'm not done yet. I'm going to keep going because I found a new lease on life in the woods. You know, that's kind of what it's giving me in the end there. Yeah, amazing, amazing storytelling. I just wish the song kind of lived up to that in its composition. The last song will be, was it NSFW? But before we go on to that song, this is a shout out to my patrons. So thank you so much, everybody on Patreon who is supporting me in all the different tiers. Their names are all appearing on screen now, so thank you very much. If you want to join over on Patreon, you can get my videos unedited. You can get them before everybody on YouTube. You can also request reactions from me, be that a song, an artist reaction, or a full album. And then those videos get posted for everybody on Patreon. So there's a number of bonus videos for everyone as well. You also will get first access to all my upcoming projects, be that music or my upcoming podcast that I'm recording at the moment. So yeah, so if you want to get involved in the community, the Crying Club, and get all these cool benefits, then make sure to head over there and sign up. Links in the description. And maybe in the top comment if I remember to do it, which I won't. I'm feeling a bit unhinged today. Maybe it's because I'm listening to Hozier. Okay, final song. This is NWFMB. I have no idea what this stands for. Gorgeous guitar. Again, quite atmospheric. Feels like we've gone into real cinematic vibes with all of these songs today. Gorgeous. Love the melody. I really like this. Ooh, gorgeous harmonies. Ooh, creepy. The best of you belongs to me. Nice. Really nice to kind of hear him singing, not only in stereo, but also something that's kind of quieter, a bit more sinister. There's so much character to it, this song. In the guitar as well, you know. I'd wanna be felt by you. Nice. into the sinister feeling in this. And I think the melody is really nice. It's understated, but nice. Oh, nothing fucks with my baby. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's why it's called Nothing. NWFMB. Okay. I love the kind of cautionary, don't fuck with us kind of energy. Don't fuck with me, fellas. Cool. So many cool songs off of the EP that didn't make it to Wasteland Baby, huh? Very cool. Nothing fucks with my baby. Love it. I love the kind of cautionary nature of it. And I love the way he sings it in a way. It's like a whispered caution, you know. The most powerful statements are whispered, you know. It's not like shouted. It's like, don't you dare. I love that we like really not only harness that energy within his performance, but within the entire production of the song. Yeah, it was very cool. When I first saw you, the end was soon. To Bethlehem it slouched, and then must have caught a good look at you. The best of you, honey, belongs to me. Ain't it a gentle sound, the rolling in the graves? Oh my God. Ain't you my baby? Ain't you my baby? Nothing fucks with my baby. The character that he's embodying in this song has this almost like ownership over their partner. There's kind of this unsaid thing. It's like, nothing fucks with my baby, because if you fuck with her, then you're fucking with me. If I was born as a blackthorn tree, I want to be felled by you, held by you, fuel the pyre of your enemies. Oh, amazing imagery. It's definitely a bit of an old school romance. It's like a gangster romance. That's what's giving me. It's like mob boss and his wife. You don't fuck with either of them, because they will both burn you alive and they will die for one another, you know. Very cool energy. Love the character in that song. Really, really cool. Thank you so much for all those suggestions, because I wouldn't have come across these songs necessarily. Do you know what I mean? He seems like to be so prolific even outside of his kind of album release rollout. And so some of these songs kind of end up falling through the cracks. So thank you for telling me about them. I'm going to say my favorite song is Through Me, The Flood, brackets, The Flood. Because that one, it felt really tight. It's where I love the kind of HOZIER'S production style to sit, which is something a little bit cleaner and something really tight that allows his voice to come through. I love the music in it, and I love the kind of the meaning of it too, you know, this kind of idea that like, if you try and control the world, then it will burn you. But if you kind of let go and go with the flow, then the world can flow right back through you, you know. I love that imagery, and I love what it stands for. If you want to check out my reaction to Wasteland Baby, it is here. And if you want to check out my reaction to HOZIER'S self-titled album, it is here.